Hi guys, I'm Gökhan Polat from Clever.io. I am the founder of that company. I am also the representative of FinTech Istanbul as the business development leader. In Clever.io, we're providing digital trust environment for Web3 world. And today, we're again with another important topic. And let me introduce our valuable panelists. What the main problem is, what if artificial intelligence wasn't controlled by a handful tech giants, but built on governed in an open, decentralized way? We will deep dive in this topic. Here, Arda Askin, Knidos Labs. He's our first speaker. Knidos Labs, where he leads innovation in AI trading agents for the digital asset space. With experience as a former venture capitalist and developer, Arda offers a unique blend of business insight and technical depth. And our next speaker is Alber Fernandez, ecosystem lead at Qubic, a layer 1 blockchain offering instant finality, feeless transactions, and the fastest smart contracts in the industry. Qubic also pioneers the use of artificial neural networks on chain, aiming to advance artificial general intelligence. And he is also with over a decade in blockchain and a background as a developer, plus a unique past as a professional motorcycle racer. Wow, it's great. Alber brings both speed and vision to today's conversation. And last but not least, we have Mehmet Buyukakarsu, business development lead at Horizon Labs. He brings a cross-sector view from his background in edtech, CX, and blockchain, offering insight into how new technologies move from concept to adoption. Mehmet, your perspective will help us ground this conversation in real-world go-to-market challenges and opportunities for DFI. Now, let's begin understanding the topic. So, here's the first question. What are the biggest risks of letting only big tech control AI development? This question is first for Alber.
Thank you so much for the question and for the introduction. So there is a huge risk if we have like big companies, as we saw in the past what happened with OpenAI, that I like to call them closed AI, really. We realized like 1 year ago when DeepSeek made their entry into the market. They were using like a fraction of the computational power to train an AI that it was so far equal to OpenAI. So what are the risks? They can be biased. The training can be biased of the LLM. So let's say that they won't be that smart as we might think of. And also AI, I think it's one of the most powerful tools that we have in the world right now. It can change a lot of industries. And if we think that a company with a huge power is going to do good with something that powerful, I think we are wrong. So that's why we should decentralize as much as possible, or to have like an open source AI, and make AI based on collaboration rather than having just centralized AI. So the risks are huge if we have only 1 or 2 companies that are controlling the whole AI market.
Thank you. And for, sorry, Arda, do you have anything to add the Albert's opinions?
Actually, right now, in the world, the people doesn't aware, what are gonna be the problems in the near future, because we are using, even myself, using AI as an assistant. Okay, so it is not, big deal if, it gives me wrong feedback or data. For example, right now, every day, I need to correct my agent. I'm using GPT mostly, and so it is okay. But, in the near future, when the AI agents starts to do something very important jobs on daily basis, so at that point, I believe we are going to be more cautious about, what kind of data it is used, while training this model, and how is the model weight, of this AI agent, and And really, the AI agent, trained, using this data, this model is right now responding to me. So these are gonna be the main questions that we are going to start to question. So right now it is okay, but in the end, we are gonna need an open AI, as Albert say, it is right now closed. So this is not a problem of today, but I believe in a couple of years later it is going to be a problem, for everyone, because we are going to see the outcome that when the AI agent starts to fail for the daily tasks. So that's why I believe we are here for today to discuss about decentralization and blockchain, how it can help us to recover from these problems.
Okay, thank you. And Mehmet, would you like to add on this?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be here, and thank you guys for listening. So when companies like OpenAI and Google have too much control over AI or basically data or anything, of course, some concerns come with it. And in my opinion, we focus on we focus as a company, as a person, on privacy a lot. So in terms of that, as of now, I don't have access to what, for example, OpenAI uses when it's being trained, where the logic is coming from, and I would personally like to know if that data is authorized or unauthorized data. And using ZK proofs, I see that there's an opportunity for users to be able to see that no unauthorized data was used. And in that sense, this brings a certain level of comfort to me personally, for example, and a lot of users. But also with ZK, you can also keep the logic behind the training private, so that the company also has its rights to have its own private training models, and it's not copied by others. So I think this is a good advancement in AI using ZK.
Okay, thank you. And now there is a surprise question for you guys. Before our session, I make my preparation and shared the questions with you, but this will be a surprise for you. And now, DeFi gave people financial control. Can DeFai give people control over intelligence? What do you think? What would AI sovereignty look like on chain?
Yeah. So it's about the decision that can, for instance, a decentralized network can do based on an action from an AI. I can give you a very clear example. In our license, in the Qubic license that we are aiming to have an artificial general intelligence in 1 year and a half, we have a clause. And in this clause, it says that the AGI cannot be used for military or for the army, for wars. And in that case, imagine that we train and there is one army that is deploying like an agent to do something like that. We are able to unplug, that part. Because it's about the decision that it's made in the quorum of the whole network. So this is something that, it makes the decision share across all the parties of the network. And of course, it will evolve because it's not only about taking decision, it's only about how we are going to train the models. If we talk about privacy, for instance, that's very important. If we are going to be take care of the data that we are training, and that's a way how we can drive everything, so we don't have the mess that we have with the financial systems back in the day, So we don't want that to happen to the AI.
Thank you, Albert. What do you think about this, Mehmet?
Basically, Alberto said pretty much like all of my thoughts. Agree with him.
And Arda, what do we need to solve these challenges and make decentralized AI practical? Because we are also facing a lot of problems in risk management, governance, and control of big tech companies on this domain.
I think right now what we are seeing, with DeFi, we got the custody of our, money or token or something. but with DeFi AI, we are gonna get probably the data we provide and our model and the behavior or the intelligence that we pay for. So it is gonna what is gonna be affected. Probably the first one is the wallets are gonna change because the wallets right now only help us to keep the the tokens in shape. So I can do the transaction with their help on chain. But probably we are going to start to keep our own models with our own wallets, in the near future. But the main problem I believe right now is we cannot do any computation on chain because it is, not practical. It is too expensive, doing this computation on chain. So we are doing everything, in terms of AI decision right now on off-chain, and we need to say that, for example, Knidos right now it is a blockchain company. We are using AI, but it is still closed because how you are going to trust me, that my trade signals are generated from the model that I trained, and it doesn't affected by any malicious user or something. So maybe 5 years later we are going to explore new ways to do on-chain computation, but right now I believe the current solution is only ZK. I believe ZK proof of any AI model or output of any AI model or inference. So we are going to somehow verify that our model didn't, it wasn't compromised. So it is the only, I think, interception of decentralization in AI right now. Without ZK, I don't have any technical solution, in my opinion. So right now, I believe there are some projects working on this, and there are some new layer ones that focusing on this, only specifically, for the AI applications to run and to put some proof on chain. So in this way, people, users, and the ecosystem can verify that, okay, this data is our data, and I gave the permission, etc. So I think this is what we are currently seeing. Zero knowledge proofs is the only way. But in the end, wallets has to change. And I believe hardware also, everyone is going to have their own AI agents running an LLM in our own phone or on computer. So these are going to be, collaborate. And I think decentralized organizations is a must, for open AI. Okay. But we don't have it yet.
Thank you, Arda. Now, before this session, we had a conversation with Alber. So I learned he has a very strong background in blockchain and AI. So I would love to ask him some specific questions about, can you please explain more about the current risks of AI and the potential risks if we use DefAI? Are they similar to each other, or will we face with new ones like scalability, cost, and performance?
So you mean the difference between the? Can you please repeat the question? Can you please repeat the question? I didn't get it. Can you please repeat? Say it again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because you have a strong background in AI and blockchain, and you know of the improvement of AI technology. So we already know we have some problems or risks areas in the AI, current AI, and we are now talking about another technology in AI with collaboration blockchain. There are problems. Will we face these problems if we start to use this kind of technology in DefAI?
Yeah, the ethic problem.
Yes.
The ethics. So the ethic problem, it's we have like part of the industry that it's not very happy because when we train a model, I can talk again about privacy. When we are training a model, we can use data that is taken from maybe musicians that they have already done something, and all the pieces and some of the parts they're taking from them. So is it ethic? to steal that part of the job. And also, this is one part about the property of who you are training. Also, the use of, for instance, in the generative AI, when you're using someone else's voice or image, that's an issue. But the worst part about the ethic is that what are we using the AI for? If we are aiming to have AI for only profit, or we want to defeat someone, then there is like a thin barrier where it's very easy to cross it, and to have, we should have like something to control that we don't trespass something. But it makes me makes me wonder who is going to put the ethic into an AI, because if we code ourselves, we are biased, all of us. So that's why we think that we need an AGI, artificial general intelligence, that is not coded by anyone, but it can be able to learn by itself. Like the evolution of the brain, of the human nature. So the ethic can be somehow perfect, and that's how my dream about the ethic of the AI.
Thank you, Alber. And Mehmet, we are facing some troubles or pain points in current AI services because of the capacity problem. What do you think about the DFI and its potential in this manner, like performance, speed of AI, thanks to using blockchain?
Can you please repeat the question?
Sorry?
Can you please repeat the question? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you?
Is there a problem? Okay. Can you explain how DefAI will help us to solve the current problems with performance, speed of AI usage?
How could AI help us?
No. We are now AI under the control of big tech companies, but with the help of blockchain technology, DefAI, we're planning to solve these problems. How DefAI plan or this technology promise us to solve this problem?
Yeah, decentralization problem.
Yeah.
So basically, for like DefAI allows you to basically have access to your agent. Like on DeFi, you have access to your own money. You don't need to trust a third party, etc. And here, you don't need to trust the third party with, for example, your AI agent. So of course, that allows you to monitor and know where that data is, first of all, shared with, and also how the agent is basically performing and how it's trained, etc. So of course, that visibility provided and that transparency allows you to have, of course, your ownership on your own AI. And you have full control, like imagine Siri or Alexa in the real world, and how they would be used in this specific use case. So yeah, that is the way I think moving forward.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move to an important topic, governance. In DeFi, protocols are governed by DAO or token voting, but with AI, the decisions are even more sensitive and about how models behave or what data they use. How can we design governance for DeFi that is both ethical and open? Arda, what do you think about it?
I think what that Alberto said, we are biased, so I think we need to train the agents, they are going to study, Spinoza or Aristotle first, to build, the consensus, probably. And, but DAO is a must, if we are talking about, open AGI. So, but I believe there is going to be needed, close AI models, to perform your, personal jobs, or, you're a company, you are going to need a private one. But the open models probably is going to be about the, the whole community or humanity, or for the human, out there. So ethics, I believe, to manage a DAO, it shouldn't be written by humans. So this is the first step. So we are going to train a model, so it's going to print some ethics, and then all the participants in that community or the organization based on their reputations, I believe. If you are a contributor, of course you are going to have a voting power. So it is a classic
systems in this regard.
Sorry, I didn't get it. It's because of the sound.
How can we embed ethical and transparent governance in open source AI systems?
Yeah, first, the main thing is that we should have open source, the model should be open source. That's why I like a lot what DeepSeek did, back in the day, because they forced, in a way, to everybody to be more open source, than they were before. And this is one of the things. So all the training processes that you have to train a model, that's okay if they are not very transparent, as long as you have access or at least what are the data taken from. But the main thing is that they should be the more transparent as possible. Because if they hide something, it's a matter of collaboration right now. Most of the data that we are taking, most of the new advancements, new features that we are finding in new models, they are taken from each other. And if we see for instance, do you remember how Gemini was 3 years ago? They were. I was in Google in Silicon Valley, and they were using ChatGPT, in Google. Now Gemini, it's much more powerful, and I think it's thanks to the transparency of the open source, the new models, that makes them evolve a little bit. Though, I see many other AIs that they are trying to be more opaque, and you can have like a technical advantage being opaque, but we should be more open, I guess.
Thank you. And Mehmet, do you have anything to add these comments about improving governance aspect of AI with this centralized?
Yeah. So voting, of course, is always a way that we're used to, and it's always one of the good methods to watch out. And using, ways with like technology of cryptography, we can basically make sure that if AI was involved in any of these systems, somehow it basically followed the rules that it was expected for it to do, and it wasn't tampered with, etc. So again, the use of zero knowledge can let us basically show that like there's an additional layer of compliance in this process, that we don't need to trust the third party, and the AI is basically also monitored through cryptography and ZK.
Okay, thank you. I also read some articles about this topic, and as I see, the transparency feature of blockchain also improves the capacity of this ethics in this AI technology. Okay, now another question. Big tech often builds on massive amounts of user data, personal data. How can decentralized AI protect privacy while still assessing enough data to learn and improve? Arda?
I think there is only one solution. AI agents should pay for the price, and then they are going to get the data and they move on. This is going to be the only solution. Otherwise, they are going to steal the data, and there's going to steal. I think there are some ongoing cases, right? On court, people are suing, OpenAI or other LLM companies, and I think it is going to happen. The AI agent is going to need the data, and there are going to be some interfaces in the end, and we all are going to sign what data we are providing. If the blog, article or video, or some singer, releasing his song or her song, and then the novel, etc. Any material on the internet right now, they are stealing. So this is going to be the only solution. AI models are going to pay the cost to the users, and then they are going to train.
Okay, Arda,
Yeah.
but I would love to ask this question to Albert too. What do you think about this?
About the
Because as I know, because I am also providing data protection services to companies,
Yeah.
and if we let big tech companies
Yeah.
just pay the money, they will do it, right, Albert?
Yeah. I can give you an example of a project that I was involved. Um, and you know, the privacy wasn't good at all because do you know the OnlyFans models? You know, they use chatters. It's people that is writing for them. So they want to automate all of this with AI because all the conversation they were like a pattern, very easy for AI. Well, I won't talk about the current content of the chat, but they were using these chats, private, to create the AI. So, you know, it's a total fault of privacy for the people that they were chatting. But at the end of the day, it was good because this AI, this chat box, instead of being more attached to porn, it was like a psychologist, and it was helping some of the people, you know, because they felt alone. So from something bad, that it's like the privacy of the people that was using, it was taking something good, you know. So I think, from my point of view, that it's impossible to obfuscate the data that we are taking for training a model. Maybe Mehmet can find a solution for that, you know, maybe with ZK. But yeah, for financial data, we're talking about agents AI, it's easier, I think. But when we are talking about conversations, generative AI, it's really complicated. So that's something that I think it's not solved yet, the privacy.
As I know, the main problem in the AI we are now using to analyze the data source is not easy. But thanks to blockchain, maybe it will be more feasible to monitor the data sources. So it may also improve our capacity to prevent data privacy failures. What do you think about it, Mehmet?
For transparency, blockchain, absolutely, for sure, always. And if it's on-chain, you know, as Alberto mentioned, ZK basically provides the technology to cryptographically prove where the data comes from. And also in terms of privacy, you have the option to, like, AI models are usually trained with sensitive data, very often, like medical records or like employment history, etc. ZK allows you to only share the result that is needed without exposing the raw data itself. So I think like the usage of ZK, ZKML for off-chain data will be more popular among the years upcoming.
Yeah. I have a question. Do you think that it can affect the performance of the training if we are using ZK?
The performance?
Yeah.
I guess it depends case to case. I'm definitely not an expert on all kinds of AI models training, but yeah, it would depend.
Okay, I have another question for three of you. For your understanding, what is the most important value this technology brings, DFAI brings for the normal users, individuals like me? The AI technology, using or implementing AI technology in blockchain, what kind of advantages will it provide for people? What is the most important aspect of it? Performance, scalability, or transparency? What is the most important feature? Yes, start.
I think the most important feature right now for DeFi, we started to see in, a financial world. So, but as next step, because we are going to have our financial assistance, it's going to work 24 hours on behalf of us. and they are going to be, managing our wealth, or do the financial reporting or decisions on behalf of us. So this is the first, I think, development in this sector. But the second step, I believe, when the people are going to start to monetize their data and behavior. So blockchain, I think, is going to be DeFi AI. So it's going to be more important solution, because otherwise we are not going to, the blockchain as itself. There is a currency that it's inside. So everyone is going to need a currency, is going to be used for trading, for all transaction, using my data or behavior or something. So DeFi AI is going to be the next attack for this area. And for transparency, I think blockchain is the only solution, but in the end, in the near future, as I said, we are going to see some cases that we are going to need to track the source. So to track the source, why? Because there are going to huge attacks to manipulate the data or the model or model weight that we are using. So it is going to give some outputs that is going to be malicious for the people. So tracking the data source and the model, updates and all these, transaction or activity, we are gonna need these DeFi agents. So I think this is how it's gonna be helpful for us. But right now, this is the only use case I see, financial.
I love it, because monetizing my personal data sounds great. What do you think about this, Alber? What is the most important feature?
Yeah. For me, I will be a little bit more radical. For me, the most important feature is usability, period. Usability. And everything will come after usability. Performance, transparency, and so on, as every innovation. For instance, now DeFi, AI, it's not very deep into the market. The usage is very limited to few people, And if we talk about the developers that are able to develop an AI agent, there are very few. So that's two-phase issues. In one hand, we don't have a user base that it's very attracted to use decentralized AI, and on the other hand, also the developers, it's very complicated. Imagine that now we have a lot of tools that can create applications, we have Cursor for developing the extension for VS Code. We have also Manus AI, where we can deploy. If we can make a conjunction of everything, and we can type the application that we want, and it can be deployed, and compiled, and tested, and several cycles of that until we have the perfect application, then it's when we will have real usability. Once we have this, and we attract the mass, everything will come after that. Transparency, the complaints. We, the developers, we are the only geeks that are worried about performance, about scalability, about transparency. But the user base, they don't care. They just want to use it. So that's why I think first usability, and then solving the other problems.
Then your answer is usability, right? Usability. A young friend told monetization, a developer told that usability. And Mehmet, what do you think?
As a privacy-focused person, I will again say, instead of a black box that you trust, AI agents will be able to show you proof of how they acted in your interest, for example, when they're negotiating with another agent, or how they use the data that you provided for them, and you will have the absolute guarantee that your data was not sold to advertisers, for example. So that type of transparency and trust and ownership is what I would define like success as within a few years as a future.
Thank you. Then you're saying the control of our privacy will be increased thanks to this technology, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. And last question, here is coming. Fast forward 5 years. What does success look like for the DeFai? What do you think, Arda?
As I said, I think our wallets, everyone has an AI agent, and it's going to track of our transactions and the information that is going to collect from our hardware devices that we use every day, and somehow we are going to be able to open it into an economy and in the marketplace. So we are gonna get paid in return, but this and more maybe we are going to see open versus closed AI models. It's going to be clear distinction between them, because in my opinion we are going to need both. So but what we are going to see is people are going to start to discuss what we are talking today. So because they are going to feel the pain, and I hope we are going to find ways to and solve all these infrastructure problems in blockchain right now in terms of speed. So right now we are struggling this last 5-6 years, and everyone is spending too much time, money on infra. But 5 years later, I hope we are going to talk about at this stage about the applications that are attracting our daily lives, like what happened with the Apple Store, or Facebook, or WhatsApp, what did to us last 5, 10, 15 years ago. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Arda. Alber?
Okay.
In 5 years.
Yeah, I said like 3 years, because I have a very clear vision about what's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that we will see that the current LLMs, they are so large right now that they don't fit into the current hardware that we have. So the hardware is going to, based on the layer more, will have more capacity to run larger models. But I think what we will have is like a combination that these LLMs will remain for the specific tasks, and we will see a new beginning, a new era of new intelligence, new AI. So I think in 2 years, for sure, we'll have the first artificial general intelligence, and they will be like the orchestrators of these LLMs that they will be used for specific tasks. But the main, let's say, intelligence will come from another top layer that they are developing right now. And also I can foresee that instead of having like 2 outputs, like 1 and 0, we will see new processors. For instance, there is a company called Cerebras from the United States that they are creating like the competitors of NVIDIA, and we will see new hardware emerging from that. Once we have AGI, we will see, and this is in around 2 years, 3 years. Nobody knows, but this is my vision. Once we can use this AGI for creating new chips, it will boom. Then we will see a new era of AI.
Thank you, Alber. And lastly, Mehmet.
Sure. I would say more decentralized, more trustworthy, more use cases and more applications that is integrated too, so where like we can benefit from it even further than where we benefited today. And of course, like using proofs, less trust. That would be the main point. And I would like to see it personally like more involved in also like the robotics. Like AI advanced really quickly within the last few years, but I feel like robotics is also coming to catch up, but hasn't really been involved. So I'd like to see those two combined. I would call that a success, because it would just be much newer use cases, much more interesting things for us to see. So yeah, these are the things on top of my mind.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. And thank you. Last year when I was in Texas, we were talking about blockchain and how AI will support blockchain and crypto technology. Now we are seeing there's a use case, DeFai, and our panelists help us to understand more about this topic. Thank you for your attendance, and thank you for Istanbul Blockchain Week, because they let us to know each other.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.